I know nobody's here. I know I'm talking to myself, which is fine. It's not a bad thing to talk to myself. That's what I do best sometimes. Um, I want to wait here. I have a special guest coming on, and basically, just gave me her text message, let her know that I'm up and running, and waiting for her to show up. So hopefully everybody's having a great day. It's raining and stuff. Is that you? Let me see if this. Hey, chosen one. That can't be you. You're not on Haps. You didn't go in on Haps. Because I can't quite find you up here. Chosen one. You have to go in on Haps under your name that you have to in the Haps under Nat Cox. Or is it Cox? Hope I spelled it right. But you have to go in and that name is okay, let's see what's going on here. Just trying to set everything up. So I don't look too bad. So anyway, I'm waiting for her to come on and stuff. She's gonna talk about her life, being a two-spirit woman, life difficulty, trials and tribulations. There's a lot of stuff she's gonna be talking about. Okay. And she's gonna share her story and stuff. So hey, okay. So you have to go in that way. Because I was sending you the link in. Just trying to set everything up. So how are you chosen one? So wait for her to come on and stuff. She's gonna start her life being a two-spirit woman. Like go through trials and tribulations. There's a lot of stuff she's gonna be talking about. And she's gonna share her story. Hey, okay. Definitely delay. So you have to go in that way. So I was in the link in some way in her. So make sure you up underneath your name. So how you chose someone. Nat Cox. Make sure you're underneath your name on Haps and stuff. So mute. So I don't have to hear this. Okay. So everybody's doing. It is raining. I'm waiting on you. We're all waiting on you. So it is raining today. I love the rain though. It's weird because I always like the rain. And it's never been a bad thing to me. Worked in the rain, love the rain. It's a wonderful thing. So waiting for her to come on. And we're gonna conversate about her life, how it is to deal with this world, this two-spirit world, problematic, manic issues in life, and trials and tribulations and jobs and men. And, we're gonna talk about everything. Just waiting for her to come on. Let me second her page. It's not really working. It's letting me go through all. Go through. Go to your what name do you have on YouTube? What's your name on YouTube? Because it's not up here. Okay, you have to go in through Haps. You already got the Haps account. Just go into it and hit the live. You go to my page. You see my page going. Hit the live and join the live. You're already on the Haps. Just hit the live. Okay, so wait for her to come on and stuff. She's already on Haps, but for some reason she's trying to come in through YouTube. Sometimes it's easier, but it's not. It's weird because you already have Haps. So let me see if I can find her. Let me see. Let me see. Why is this freezing? What's this page? Okay, it's wait. Wait. Hey Nova, what's up, sweet? She's on Hap, so okay. I'm trying to find you up on Hap so I could try to pull you in. It said wait a minute because evidently something's going slow. Let me just try to see. Hmm. I'm looking. I don't see your name to come up here on this app. So did you hit? Wait a minute. Let me try to see something. Get a little closer. So did you hit the join button on Hats? It's going really. I guess it's the web. Let me see if I can bring you up this way. Mm. this. Let me see if I can. I'm all in this camera. So weird. So did you? I mean, I got you up here. It's weird because it says I got you up here subscribed and everything, but it's not coming up for some reason. So did you hit enter and stuff? Because he's saying Nat Cox is not here. I did everything I was supposed to do, but for some reason it was not working. Maybe it's my phone. Maybe it's a location. So did you? Did you? I was gonna say did you join the app? But it says that up here, but I don't understand why it's not going through. Do you have a name on YouTube? I could pull you in on YouTube name. Let me see. Because for some reason it's not getting. Let me refresh it again. You got 8 people subscribed to your channel, but internet is good. I sent to you now. Okay, let me see something. Let me try this. Mm-mm-mm. I'm on this channel. Come, let me try this. What is this? It's still saying no user. Did you? Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. This is so weird though. Let me try this again. Hmm. It still keeps saying no user found. Let me ask you this. Hello. Let me ask you this. Did you did you subscribe to Haps? Because it's not coming up. It's saying United. Did because it keeps saying no user found. So are you on YouTube? When you on YouTube, it's Harry Potts on YouTube. Are you in my? Wait, are you on? Are you on YouTube? Are you in my live? But I'm saying, where's your name at up here? Because I don't see. I'm waiting. Where you sending it to? Are you sending it to YouTube? Or are you sending it to Facebook? Well, why would you, girl? What? Why would you? Okay, let me see. That's what I'm saying. If you went on if you sent it to YouTube, I would just put you up from there because I thought you left a message, but I don't see a message up here. All right, send message to Raven can invite you. The thing she has to go. She has to go. She said she has to sign on something else because for some reason it's not. Nothing up here has a name up here. Like it's not registered unless I don't know, which is weird because it should come up even though I don't know. She got a whole page up here. She also got subscribers, so it's not like she's blocked because it's active up here. But as far as seeing anybody here, it's nothing there. He's been struggling for years. Rest in peace, Greg. What's up tonight? I got it. We're gonna talk about a lot of journeys and stuff that she's going through in life and trials and tribulations. Those procedures and stuff. Once she has a big story to share with everybody, a lot of stuff, and I don't want to overspeak because I don't want to, I let everybody tell their own story. I don't want to tell nobody's story, but I'm trying to get her. For some reason, I can't pull her up. It's so weird. Hey, Dozer. Hey, DA, chosen one. So I'm trying to. So weird though. Because every time I invite her, Keep saying no user. I don't see nothing up here at all. Anyway, we'll get there. Everything takes time. Technical difficulties, this happens more often than it should, but it's just not working. This is so weird. So, but it's weird because it's like I'm sitting here and I'm looking at your name here. You're in the thing here, and it still won't come up. Wait a minute, let me see. Mm, mm, mm. I don't know why it's not working though. So this is so weird. So well, I guess it's not meant for. I don't know. This is weird. I'm not trying it. Um. Hey, you want to just do it from here from the phone? That's fine. I'm gonna put you on speaker. Okay. Make sure your phone is charged.
It is.
Okay. So wait a minute. I'm trying.
Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mama. So I have Natalie Cox on here with me on the phone due to the fact that we couldn't quite due to the fact that I'm letting them know who's on the phone and stuff. Due to the fact that we could due to due to the fact that I couldn't get you to come on live because the internet is acting fine, which is fine. Technical difficulties happen sometimes. So how are you, Natalie?
I'm good. And yourself?
Can y'all hear her well? Can y'all hear YouTube and stuff? Can everybody hear her okay?
Turn your TV off.
That's fine.
Are you hearing feedback at all?
Huh?
Are you hearing any feedback?
I mean, you fine on my end. I just, unless you got the can y'all hear her in the YouTube land? Can y'all hear her talking? January, Natalie. I mean, not Natalie.
If it ain't one thing, it's another. I swear to God.
Okay, thank you, Nova. They can hear you. So anyway, she said, "How y'all doing?" So anyway, thank you for coming on here. Unfortunately, we had technical difficulties, but at the end of the day, we're gonna get through this one way or another. We're gonna make it happen. So thank you for coming on and stuff. Now, I wanted to talk in reference to the life struggles and stuff you've been through as a two-spirit woman, your journey and acceptance of life. How have how have your life been as far as letting your parents know your truth?
To be honest with you, I came out young, like 13 is when I started, and I took hormones at like 16 or 17. But I was kind of an asshole when I say that I was coming out, because I saw that that's what you had to do to get any type of approval or to get any type of respect from my parents.
Okay, so it was a little bit different for you. The thing about it is, did you start hormones or did you need hormones or did you just say, I don't really need all the
I
extra?
started hormones. I actually was a lot more passable. They were hugely way more passable than I am now. But it got to a point where I took my first hormone shot at 16, and Sydney Star actually was Sydney Star when we helped me, and they gave me my first shot along with a woman by the name of Tracy and Sandy Chanel.
Okay. Okay. Do you have your YouTube channel up or something?
It's up. It is.
Because I think I'm getting feedback from the background. If you could you just mute the
I can turn it up, baby.
Okay.
Alright, that better?
Yes, very much better. Thank you.
Alright.
So, as the journey and stuff, a lot of times girls feel as though they have to take hormones in order to stay in their truth. They always feel as though they have to get medical, before they get to a point. Was that your story as well?
Well, I think what my story was I saw how black men in Chicago were treated at that moment,
Mm-hmm.
and how young black guys were treated at that moment. And so the one thing that I did not want to, not to say one thing I didn't want to be, but one thing I did not want to have issue with was, trying to grow up in that type of lifestyle. So I saw that the women in my life were strong black women. They were women that were making money. They were women that make the moves. And so it seemed easier to me, and I was small, I was tiny, and I had already had the sexual experience, I should say, from having issues and having sexual trauma from a young age. So it was easier for me. It was more like out of necessity, necessity survival, I should say, more than I want to look like this or I want to feel like this.
Mm-hmm. So did you ever get any therapy for the trauma that you received?
I had a lot of therapy.
Okay.
Some of it worked, some of it didn't. But to be honest with you, it wasn't up until maybe this past year where I actually had to go back to the root of my problem, because I realized that as I grew up, I compartmentalized a lot of shit, and I realize now that I react in certain ways and have PTSD and post-traumatic stress, and due to compartmentalized issues or compartmentalized type of behavior. Mm-hmm. But the issue that the one thing I've noticed is that a lot of people knew about like what happens to a kid. A kid is innocent,
right?
And so during that time, it makes me feel like, are you grooming that child to be like that? Are you creating this child and creating something that that's a mystery of science, or are you trying your best to? It just happened. Coincidences happen, and very seldomly have I seen coincidences.
Well, when you go through trauma and stuff and it's not treated, it's a process. And then if it's never treated, then it gets to a point of you just bringing it on and make, comparisons to your life with other people and entities and life struggles and stuff.
Well, I do believe that truly do believe that when I was getting molested, I was molested at 5 years old.
Oof.
Maybe 5 to the age of 13 on a daily basis.
Mm.
And I never spoke about it until when I did speak about it, I got publicly shamed by family, which made me thankful to the fans that I did have, because they were the ones who showed me, like, that's victim shaming. You shouldn't be ashamed of who you are. You shouldn't be ashamed of what happened to you. And you shouldn't be going, attacked because you're, trying to tell your truth.
Right. That's
But
sad.
my family's afraid.
That's sad when you get molested. They blame you for being molested, or they kind of protect the molest. It's kind of like a little bit what we're dealing with R. Kelly right now. For he got away with it for all these years.
The thing about it is, a child should never, when you take their innocence away from a child, especially that young, you replace it with something else.
Right.
And the thing about it is, every guy that I had sexual experiences with, or any type of negative feedback with, was an African American male or a dark skinned black male. And one thing that I've always had issues with fear of, these type of men. And it wasn't until I was watching the Honorable Louis Farrakhan and looking at the origins of things and looking at getting into those books about how to break a buck and all these other type of things, and realized I'm wondering if it's just systematically done to rape kids or to take the innocence away from black boys, to turn them into these effeminate men or turn them into two-spirit women, or is it just I don't know. It's a confusing thing, I should say, especially to find out that parents and teachers and everybody else knew about it.
The sad
which
part,
also takes. Huh?
I'm sorry. No, the sad part about it is children are innocent, and then you have young children raising children, where sometimes I believe they kind of mess with each other. Then you got
my mother's in the 80s.
Right. But then you have young babies that's doing it, but young babies, because they watch what their parents do when they think they'll close the door, but they kind of see it. Then you got the adults that's supposed to been no better. They have mental disorders, bipolar. Some are very crazy. Some are for real crazy. And
but you know what? I'm sorry.
No, I was saying, then you leave them around your children because they make your children laugh. And here it is, once they leave the child home with them, it could be a whole problematic. But go ahead, I'm listening.
I believe that, trying to heal, healing about that situation, I had to learn about my molester and learn that maybe he had something happen to him. And that's what was kind of the open door, I should say, he was the gatekeeper to me understanding how, how things work. And I think most people that are molested, especially at a young age, especially men or young boys at a young age, that when they're molested, they become the opposite of what molested them, which is not. I mean, it's a way of coping, I guess, a way of dealing with it. But it's just, I don't believe that should ever happen again.
As I've got, as I've got older, I realized that a lot of women rape boys. I didn't even know enough that they didn't exist, that women rape boys as well.
What you mean?
A lot of women have raped boys. A lot of women have raped men when they were young. So when they're exposed to this, what they do is, a lot of times out of 10, it feels good. Then they just take women and they go through them because it's just a sexual thing. It's no heart, it's no compassion. It's just the sex and the body. It's not the love. It's not the let me get.
Well, see, that's what I call it grooming, though, babe. I think that's 100% grooming.
Yeah, but when I say this, that means that's why a lot of times when it comes to young men, their feelings are already cut off because it seems like everything has to do with feelings. And I'm not saying all cases, but when everything has to do with feelings, no one really cared about his feelings. All they cared about the sexual activity. So now he gets in bed with a lot of women. He just has sex with them. It's no feeling. That's why a lot of times you ask a man, have you ever been in love? He'll say no. He just had a lot of bodies.
Wow. You know what? I think if you find love, you learn how to love from other people and from the way you were raised. And when you realize the way you were raised is not the right way, the way you were raised is not the conventional, or it's not conventional. It's not normal, I should say, or suitable for normal life. It makes you bad, and you get to where we're at right now.
You're right, because a lot of times, a lot of mothers that have children, they got their children through not the right way. And I'm not saying all mothers, but they met a guy, knocked her up, gave her a baby. Now she's sitting there with a child. She has to figure it out. Now, as a woman trying to figure it out, sometimes the mother takes it out on the child. She poisons the child's mind against the father, and then it becomes this whole traumatic thing for him mentally. That's why whenever you have an argument, the parent's supposed to separate the child, get them out the room because they don't need to see this because they're going to bring it in their makeup. And I'm not saying every time.
No, my mother was slick. My mother was real slick about it. Um, my mother's a Pisces. She never gets her hands dirty. She's a great woman. I would have never wanted to be raised by anybody else but her because she taught me a lot of the things that the world usually teaches us as we grow older. So. Also, she went through menopause, and my dad left around that time, and I hated him for a while until I realized that this is her MO. This is what she does. She likes to be, in control, but she likes everybody to be away, far away, so she can control people from a distance.
The sad part of a lot of parents are raising their children off of trauma.
Of course, I believe that 100%.
Trauma, broken condoms. You was on the pill but wasn't, and the child has to pay for this. When it comes to this.
My mother was old. She was old. She was old. She was real old. So.
But as you, I can hear you. What'd you say, Natalie?
I said there's a way that she actually could have given birth to me because of the age that she said. So when it comes to that.
Did you receive a lot of discrimination when you tried to apply for jobs and stuff?
To be honest with you, I had one job which was working for the mayor of Chicago, and I worked for the mayor's program after you get out of high school. After that, I got into entertainment. I should say.
You what? I can't hear you. You
got into entertainment.
Okay. So you mean?
I'll call a spade a spade. My mother was not taking care of me, so she was like, I had to make my money the best way I knew how.
So you was an adult entertainer.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So listen, this is the thing with me. How I am. You have to do what works for you. You have to do what you got to do. There's no judgment zone here. At the end of the day. Ain't nobody paying your bills. Ain't nobody taking care of you. But the one thing they will do is put you down, and behind your back, they're doing things even worse, or they're doing just what you're doing, or they're trying to block your money because they feel like you're making too much money. Because we live in a world full of hypocrites.
This is true, but this is why I came on today, because there are a lot of girls like me that are terrified to do anything, or wind up sitting in the shadows just because of somebody else's insecurities, and. It's okay with not being okay. It's okay with not being perfect. It's okay with, having these ideas of each other's self, but actually not being authentically us. Once you're authentically you can't be broken. And I'm learning that the hard way. Because I was a carbon copy of everybody else's fantasy, like a dumbass.
But let me tell you something. This is how I see it. When you find somebody that you want to be with, first thing you're thinking of is how much money you got. Can you help us? So isn't that a form of sex work? Because you're talking about how much money you got, what's in your account. So everything we're going to be doing.
Maybe there's a whole ladder. There's a whole ladder. You got to realize that. The whole ladder, starting from the bottom all the way up to where we're at now. Like I said again, when you're going up that entertainment ladder, you start off as what? Streetwalker. Get your money that way. Then you go from that to what? Escort. You go from escorting to porn. You go from porn to hopefully sugar daddy. From sugar daddy, you hopefully you just can ride that one out. And if not, when you come to the realization that you lived all this life, and you hustled all these cities and all this type of stuff, and you realize you don't even know who you are in the mirror, it makes you think. And it makes you stop and say, what the fuck have I been doing? Like, do I even like you? Mm-hmm. Do I even like red hair? Do I like blonde hair? Do I like hair at all? It makes you stop because you realize that you have lived a superficial life. And I think that's where a lot of girls fall short at. They live the superficial life, especially, like I said again, myself, where it's like, hell, it took you to help me with the whole two spirit thing. I was like, hell, I got about 12. You piss me off on the right day, you might it depends on who you get, gonna pop up. But again, go ahead.
I just think you just was spiritually broken. I just don't think that it was like
of course.
you were just spiritually broken. You were still there, you just was spiritually broken because at some point you realized that you wasn't getting the love that you wanted and you wasn't receiving everything that you set out for. And you start realizing that everything that was supposed to go a certain way, it was not being available to you. And
now I'm gonna say a little bit like this. When you're in that type of lifestyle, there comes a time when a group comes up, and this group will say, "If I have a magical wand and whatever you want, you can have it." And it's like it literally almost goes like this, which is kind of creepy. And you go through the ceremonies, you go through all this, who whopped the bam. Hopefully, I'll end up dead after this. You go through all these ceremonies, you go through all this stuff, getting all these accolades, and then you spend all this money, and you start getting you start seeing things. You start seeing, okay, the benefits of it. You start realizing, but what stopped me was the fact that you want to sell. It's almost like selling out, but then not only just selling out, but are you selling yourself, your soul, your essence, your who you are? And the bad part about this is that you have these people who come up and they see you, and I'm like, I wonder, are you praying on us, or were you prepared for us? You know what I mean?
Well, they prey on the fact that you're spiritually broken. They already know your storyline before you even show.
Well, that comes from childhood, though.
No, but what I'm saying, I'm not speaking just in you. I'm talking about most of the girls. They already know what we want. They look in the background watching us, so they know what we want. They know you want to be loved. They know you want to be accepted. So if I give
not all girls are like that, baby.
Huh?
Not all girls are like that.
No, I'm not saying no. I didn't. Listen, the thing about me is I don't say everybody because we're all different individuals. Everybody tells a different story, but a lot of girls are broken. I've never met a girl. I'm not saying it's untrue that it's not, but a lot of girls I know when they do sex work, it's because they have to let a part of themselves die in order for them to live. Even though it made a lot of people.
I don't think that should die.
But
I will say there are things that I would. There was a routine, ceremony, and all that type of stuff that I would do, a ritual that I would do to actually call, to get into that, that headspace, and it would be crazy. It would almost be like going into the sunken place, and it's like, well, what the fuck is going on? Like, bitch, am I actually that crazy? And it's like, well, no, I can't be that crazy. Like, no, bitch, you that crazy, but you ain't stupid. So you know something. You don't get something for nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the thing is this. You just said to me, you said that you lost who you was. That means a part of you died and another part of you had to die in order to live. You had the part of you died inside in order for you to move forward. And when I say this, it's happened to me and a whole lot of me's and a whole lot of you's. It's not like you like the only one. A lot of our dreams and goals and things we thought was going to happen did not happen, and then we find ourselves in a situation we have to do survival sex. We have to try to make it the best that we can, and at part, we are dying as we start doing things that's not what we signed up for. Now we have to find other substances to survive. We're smoking, we're doing needles, we're doing tina, we're getting heroin, we're drinking, we're doing everything we can because we're broken people. We're real people, but at the end of the day, a part of us had to die in order to live. And when I say that, that means that everything we wanted is still not left, but it's done died because we're now in this avenue of something that's not what we signed up for. And at that point, some of us will start talking, some of us get high, some of us become very quiet, some of us say this stuff. Everybody's different because everybody has different traumas. But the thing about it is that it's not what we signed up for. That's why a lot of our sisters won't even speak to each other because we're so problematic with our lives and the traumas that we dealt with. And here it is, another person coming along trying to tell you about your life when you don't heard enough people tell you about your life and didn't know nothing.
And that's the thing. Like I've lived a very beautiful vision that I almost believe. So the problem is that when you're not the problem, but the thing is when you get everybody to believe your shit, and all of a sudden everybody around you is yes, ma'am, oh yeah, yes, oh that's okay, girl, you look great, and it gets to the point where it's like we all have trauma. It's easier for me to help you with your trauma than it is for me to help myself with my trauma.
I agree.
because you can see my shit. I can't see my shit sometimes when I'm in. You understand what I'm saying?
I definitely
But the thing
understand.
about it, go ahead.
I get it. That's me. Go ahead.
Like that's why I fucks with you. You understand? Like I try to be as very ladylike as possible when at certain times. But there are times where I like to be myself and just be real. Like
Amen.
I'm from Chicago, from the South Side. Like if you can see how I look right now, you're probably very disappointed, but it's all right. Every saint has a past, and every sinner has a future. But the thing about it is, people don't. The girls when I was coming up, you never saw this part of them. You never saw the downside of the girls. You never saw the like my gay mother was such a Valentino at one point. She always considered herself my gay father. So the bad part about it is we do share that a lot of life, but it also comes up because of the way you have to be in this type of headspace, in this type of lifestyle when you're doing it out of survival.
Right. A part of us die. I don't know how many
I don't
times.
think I don't say a part of us die. I think the part of me, that innocent little boy of me that was molested all them years ago, that little boy has been very protected and very well covered up and very. But the thing about it is, what I've learned from my studies in psychology is that at the age of like 5 or 6 years old, the personalities are supposed to join together, and when there's trauma, they don't come back together. You don't become one. And I still also believe that there are different entities that I've worked with, and I'm like, well, bitch, am I crazy? Am I hearing voices? If I'm hearing voices, it'll be something that's true. So I'm like a PC, and it happened, and I'm like, okay, bitch, now I'm talking to dead people. So I'm like, it's a crazy headspace that you put yourself in when you're dealing with that type of energy. And the bad part about the whole situation is, if you never would have touched that child, and if that little boy would have never been molested, and if the mother and father in the neighborhood would have stopped it from happening, it wouldn't have become. That kid would have knew who he is now, or that kid would have knew who she was going to be now, rather than waiting to this age and now being back 12 years old.
Yeah, everybody deals with trauma differently. So, I understand exactly, how you. Well, I don't understand exactly because those are your story. So I can never understand exactly, if you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
I can have compassion for your words because everybody's trauma is different, and everybody deals with things the best way they can to make it work for themselves. And I just hope that you found. Have you found peace within everything you
Well,
do?
I'm looking, baby. I've been looking all around, but I also realized that I've had a deep connection to something that was, both dark and light. And when you have that type of understanding, I should say, it's difficult because you realize that, okay, we're gonna do this the right way, or we're gonna do this your way. And it's like, well, hell, I did my way for all these years. They work. I keep doing it, end up in a circle, in a loop, and it's not really getting like, I'm tired, honey. I'm older now. I can't just keep running around the United States and the rest of the world trying to find happiness. You know what I mean?
But you know what it is? This is the thing. There is no time clock on past pain. Some traumas take forever. Some traumas you never heal from, which will be me, of course. And there's some traumas you may can get over it. Some people will never get over it. Some people kind of see a little light. Sometimes people feel a little bit steps every day. Everybody moves differently. With me, myself, my traumas, I don't think I'm never going to get over them. But that's speaking of something in the future, which not to be accurate. Is that me about to die? Oh, maybe that's the cell phone. Give me a second, y'all. Her connection on the cell phone. Let me just read this a little bit while her phone is connecting back up. Chosen with. Okay, the call dropped. I'm gonna call back. Okay, call back. Who is this? Second. I got you back. Okay, let me just press this speakerphone. Oh, you want to use the camera? You took the camera. You want to use the camera for me or no?
No, we don't have to.
You funny, I know you. Well, let me
I'm
put.
looking like, where you get the bike? I got the bike holiday.
Wait a minute. Let me. August, can y'all hear her? Make sure the speaker's on. Can y'all hear her? Say something, Natalie.
Can y'all hear me?
Okay. Because for some reason up here it's not showing me the speaker thing, so I'm trying to make sure that the speaker is up. Someone says people don't do drugs because they like it. Even when they're killing them, they're doing drugs because exactly.
It's a bandage. Drugs are bandage.
Right. We all try to heal the best way we can. Giselle says, "How can I call Raven? She's on my phone line." Okay, I'm lost. Deshaun says, "Who's on your phone line?"
Me?
No, someone else said. Kenny said, "Okay, okay." In January. Okay, so what was we talking about? We was talking about the fact of the matter was that people needed therapy and stuff and dealing with trauma situations the best way they can, and the fact that some people can never get over their trauma, and some people can.
You know what? It wasn't the trauma that I got that hurt me the most. To be honest with you, it was the betrayal of my family. I should say that knew. And they like threw it in my face in front of, I'm like, white people looking at us. Like, how the fuck you gonna say something, this is how you treat your mama? And I'm like, wait a minute, bitch, hold on. Like, why you coming at me? Go in my DMs, mom. Like, seriously. But it happened, and it is the way it is. Like, I feel like I went reverse when it came to my family. Like, they told me, their disapproval came now instead of at the beginning. Really don't matter.
I'm sorry you went there. Yeah, family could be the worst. I have my own set, and mine's come straight from Lucifer's special section from.
You know what? He ain't so bad. He's some of these niggas. Some of these family members be full of shit.
No, mine's come straight from hell with the burning bed. No.
Not the burning bed, girl.
Mine is the worst. Trust and believe. It takes the hand of God to keep his hand on top of me, because I tell you, the revenge I want to do so bad. I thank God that I'm a praying person, that the man above keeps his hand on me, because baby, and it's sad because you know what? You be wanting revenge on your own family. Like, you be wanting to get up.
Not really. You know what? Not really. To be honest with you, I used to be like that when I was way, way younger. But I realized that when you have that type of revenge, you carry that type of burden around. It comes back up and you beg. Or you realize that you have no emotions or you have no feelings. And that's something that I couldn't get used to. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm just going to say that's your story. That's definitely not mine, because I am at war. You have no idea. And I understand, because maybe you've gotten to a level of peace. You know what I mean? So you're on a
I ain't gonna say that. I just know my shit, baby. I know what's
yeah,
up. I can just look in the mirror.
Yeah, but you might be on a higher level than me, because I'm not there where you at yet. You know what I mean? That means where you at is on a higher frequency. I'm not there at all. I'm down here in the gutter.
You know, sometimes it ain't good. It ain't meant for you to be that high, baby. Just be honest with you.
Maybe we
sometimes it's not meant for you to be that high.
Maybe we have to revisit this conversation when I have mentally come down a few knots. And I'll be like,
but you know what? No. You don't have to be honest with you. To be honest with you. For people not to see this part, for people not to see this is okay, well, girl, this is what's happening. And I think it was Oprah and this guy named Dr. I can't think of his name. Beautiful, Middle Eastern guy with green eyes. Huh?
Oh, I think she's not on TV.
No, it was on the YouTube. I go down YouTube rabbit holes, honey. Okay. But see, they were saying something like, not why is he like that or why is she like that, but what happened to them to get them like that. And that's something that I've always asked the question about, like, well, why did you get to that point? Like, what's the root of this problem? And when I started, like I said again, when you start looking at the root of the problem, you realize that it's not the person, but it comes from the tree from which they fell.
Right. I mean, like I said before, maybe it's something, excuse me, it's just an educational moment that you're giving me right now. I'm here with you. I'm listening to you. So I have to revisit this when I know that I can, you know what I mean? Because basically, I get where you at, but I'm not there. I'm not going to act like.
You don't need to be here either. That's why I'm talking to you right now.
Right.
You don't have to be here.
It's a process. I ain't going to front. I know you, so you know I can front. So let me ask you this. How it is as far as dating-wise? Like, what's your preference?
Girl, let me tell you, baby. Tell you this how it is. I got like 6%. No, to be honest with you, I dated for love at a young age.
Okay.
And dating for love at a young age left me broke and left me gagging with no computer, no phones, purse get up gone. That's what it left me with. It got to a point where I was like, I can't deal with this.
So they was.
So I became. It got to a point where I could deal with, the way girls had to deal with trades. Like, it was a privilege to be with me. Like, that's how the guys that I would meet, that's how they felt.
So they gave you like the royal treatment, the queen treatment.
No. It gave, like, it was the opposite. Like, it was a privilege for them to be with me. For me to be with them.
So basically,
it wasn't an equal joke.
So in other words, you was lucky to have them take out time to be with you.
Right.
Got it. They do that to me now, but they don't get that off of me only because I'm ignorant. So I just don't bother.
But the thing about it was the white guy, when I got here dealing with more white men, Latino men, and it became different because they were the ones who came in and was like Captain Sabo.
Yeah, the white men. You're absolutely right. The white man will come in and make you feel like $1 million. Not
just that, but when you don't have when you've been groomed, like I said again, when you've been groomed to not like black men, or you've been groomed to be afraid of black men, and all of a sudden here comes this white savior. I had to step back and say, like, again, I love all people, and I realized that I was becoming a self-hating racist for no reason, or I would lock my doors when I'm coming to the hood. And I'm like, wait a minute, bitch, you black, right? And only because of the simple fact of the matter, being so, like, being so shell-shocked and being so, like, a part of, they call it an individual. To be an individual is a very lonely place. And to be an individual in a community where you're not really accepted, or if they knew what you really were, it was like, bitch, no, you're not really the T over here. You know what I mean?
But you know what?
To thrive about it. Go ahead.
You know what I think it is, Natalie? I think it is the fact that when you're dealing with someone outside your race, and when I say this, I'm not saying every white man or whatever. I'm not saying this, but I feel like when you're dealing with the white man, he's dealing with you through a culture. Like, I really don't know how to deal with this person because this person is black. So I have
some of them do, some of them don't.
Right. So I'm going to treat you like a queen, and I'm going to treat you really well. And I'm not saying because some of them come straight from, And the thing about it is that he will do a lot of things as far as being really nice and overbearing. And when I say this, with my experience with black men, I've had a lot of black men that treat me really well too. But I think more of my traumas with my case with black and white men, they both don't like me. So that's the one time they decided to get together. They both don't like me. Because for the white
man. You know what? But you're sweet, though. You're a sweet girl. You just don't take no shit.
No, but you know what it is? For the white man that dates a black girl, I'm too white for him. And for a black man, for a white man, he wants me to have the black hair, the shortcut, the little, the color purple hair, the curl, the jerry curl. He wants that. He wants me. He wants me to be more black. That's what the white man wants, because he don't white girls, so he likes the black girls.
Well, some of them do.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. Some of them do, but it's the image in which, whatever energy you call upon, or whatever succubus, incubus, queen of the damned that you call upon, and whatever type of feminine energy that you use when dealing with that type of vibration, you become whatever you want is what they want. Does that make sense?
Yes, exactly. And the thing about it also with that is with dating black men, how has your experience been?
I don't give a fuck about white guys, as bad as that sounds, and I can't believe I just said that. I only have been penetrated by black guys. Okay. And can't, it's a strange, I know it's a fucked up ass, fucked up way of thinking, or a screwed up way of thinking, but I think it was Justin, the King of Reeds, was like, you can colonize me, but not my whole. And when it came to black men, I have a weakness, like a bad weakness, for when it comes to black men. But again, like I said again, it wasn't until I had to step back, stop, completely, all of my triggers, all of my vices that I used to do. I cut myself off from all of them, except one or two, But the most, like, the ones that were, I felt they were feeding, they were feeding these energies and feeding these, deities that I was using. Um, I realized that I was not present a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? When I cut that off, I realized that there were things that was like I had an aha moment.
You know what?
And then I changed my head went crazy.
You know the thing I think it is because when you see black men, you see your own. It's kind of like a I'm home thing, but you still like watching him, but you still like watching him. If you know what I mean. It's like I'm watching
Yeah.
you, but I feel home, but I'm still watching you to see if I'm really home or you one of the crazy.
I get you. I get you.
How about Spanish men?
You know what I particularly, you said like I like all guys to be honest with you.
Right.
But also